helps that Craig Fairbrass, who is very tall, and when he wants to, can put a very mean face on, is pointing a shotgun at you. It's not that hard to act nervous. Because there's a part of you that's thinking to yourself, I wouldn't put it past it.
This is the show where dreams come to be seen. The Time Out Show. The Time Out Show. The Time Out Show. Yeah, the Time Out Show.
Hey guys, welcome to the Time Out Show. I'm Taylor.
And I'm Shane.
And we're joined with Ethan Lawrence.
Thought you forgot my name for a second there.
I thought you wanted to announce yourself, maybe.
There was a brief pause. I was very concerned.
I was going to call you Joe. There you go.
All right, okay.
But no, how you been?
Yeah, been all right. Yourself?
Good.
Really good.
Yourselves, I should say. Various.
Yes.
Panicking about getting here because of the...
Yeah, we got caught in a little bit of traffic, but I think you had a bit of the same. So
Yeah, it was an absolute nightmare getting in. For the people watching at home, this is Easter Sunday, and it turns out a lot of people like to go out on Easter Sunday.
Who would have thought it?
Yeah.
Especially considering nothing's open.
Yeah.
I know we was hoping to get some food after, but...
Everything's closed. Yeah. There was,
Uber Eats it is.
Isn't there like a
not
panini
sponsored.
No, but there is a panini shop, but it's closed, so no paninis today. There we are.
But maybe some king prawns and black bean sauce.
He's doing references.
Yeah,
and I remember that one because it was
yeah.
recent.
I've seen that.
We've got a lot of references to...
Okay, I can't promise I'll remember all of them.
We'll try our best.
It's been a long and storied career.
But, I mean, speaking of Boat Story...
Oh yeah, they were referencing Boat Story, by the way.
For those of you that
And before
haven't
that, they were referencing Bad Education, which is another thing, which we'll get to.
That one too. That one too.
another project. But yeah, Boat Story. What can you kind of tell us about your experience on the show? Obviously, like, we've watched it, thoroughly enjoyed your character and
Thank you.
the kind of, I'd say, different character you've almost played than what you're usually kind of written for.
Yeah, so I mean, this was strictly speaking, it's my first drama. Although, as I'm sure you noticed, there are certain comedy elements to it, and certainly I think my character sort of fit that mold in a way, like sort of like a sort of the bumbling cop persona. So it wasn't a million miles away from the stuff that I do normally, but in addition to that, there was also some tense dramatic stuff. Like I had the opportunity to do a very, very, very tense scene with Craig Fairbrass off of Rise of the Foot Soldier et al., which was that was intense.
Yeah.
So it was a very different experience, but it was weird because I was during the shooting of that I was also doing Horrible Histories. So I'd move into London, West London studios, and I'd do a whole day on Horrible Histories. Then I'd hop on a tube train over to central London and get a train up to Leeds. This is after a 12-hour day, by the way. I get a train up to Leeds, crash in a hotel, then go do Boat Story, 12-hour day, back down to London, and then back out to West London to be another historical character. And that was basically like November and December of 2022. I don't want to sound like I'm complaining because, like, you are sitting there on the train, like, on 3 hours sleep, just thinking to yourself, gosh, it's good to be busy. Yeah, I love being busy.
Would you say... Sorry. I was going to say, would you say it was hard to come from a sort of jolly atmosphere of, Horrible Histories to then go into a character like in Boat Story? Like, I know, obviously, you spoke about sort of method acting in the past and how you're not a big fan of it.
Yeah. We'll get to that, I'm sure.
So would you say it was hard to kind of break that line, or? No,
because, I mean, you compartmentalise stuff. I mean, especially with Horrible Histories anyway, even though it's all of a mode, you are playing, like, several different characters. Yeah. Like, I think I broke 100 in the ones that we were doing because we shot 2 series back to back, so it's like 24 episodes. So that's a lot of characters. Yeah. So, like, I was already in the mode of, like, picking one character, doing that, then dropping it, and then picking up another one. So the switch between it wasn't too bad. And like sets are relatively similar to each other generally, like especially in British telly. Yeah. Like there's not too much variation. You sort of you get into the kind of the method of it, the routine, the structure. And they were both lovely sets to work on, which helps. Like everyone was really excited about making stuff, which is always a good set to be on. So yeah, it wasn't too difficult. I suppose it comes with experience as well. Like the longer you do stuff like this, the longer you're acting professionally. Like you get there. You work out little tips and tricks and techniques, all sorts of things like that. I realised I was doing sort of an Italian gesture there. That's
Al Capone,
that's from. Oh, that's probably one of the many Italians that I played in Horrible Histories. Complete with a very racist European accent.
I guess now you've had a taste of the drama side of television. Is that something that you think you've got a bit of a taste for now, or do you kind of want to do a bit more of that?
Also, I feel this question a lot, and I think what people need to understand, and what I've been trying to sort of tell people on my social media and everything like that, is that I am in no position to be picky.
Yeah.
I'm a jobbing actor. I go from job to job, paycheck to paycheck. So I'm in no way close in my career to be able to say, oh, I really want to do this, or I won't do that sort of thing. If it pays, I've done horrendous stuff for money. You don't even want to know. There's some adverts that I've done. You can't see them anymore.
Completely wiped off the face.
But here they are.
No. Trust me, I've looked. Because
I've done the research.
Well, no, because I brought it up because the specific one I'm referencing, I did. You may have heard about this, possibly. I've posted about it before. I did an advert for a French mattress company.
Okay.
Right. And gets better. So the whole arrangement of it was that it was a French mattress company being financed by a Belgian production company that was shooting in Scotland with 2 English actors and a Canadian director. So
sounds like the punchline to a joke.
Well, yes, it's a bit long. I mean, I guess the big punchline there is that I don't think there was a single taxable event that occurred at any point. But I bring it up because for money, I flew up to Inverness and then went over to the Isle of Skye and literally crawled around in sheep shit on a mountain for 3 days, during which Donald Trump won the American presidential election. So we're all sat there with whiskies going, what's the point of any of this? What are we doing?
What did that have to do with a mattress?
Well, wouldn't you like to know? I think the implication, because we were playing... Okay, so you've really got to delve into the story on this, because bear in mind, there was no dialogue, because all the dialogue was voiceover in French. Because it would be, wouldn't it? So we
might have done an accent.
Absolutely not. No words, because they'd know. Because it would be one of my Horrible Histories racist ones. They're going to big mattress. So, but the idea was we were sheep scientists looking for. This is. But this is going to take so long to get through. If you're going to, right? So we were sheep scientists studying the best sheep for which to stuff a mattress. Right? It's modern. It's a modern day Romeo and Juliet. Right? Yeah. We made Shakespeare that day. He's destroying the set. We're barely 10 minutes in and he's destroying the set.
I've lost it as sheep scientist.
Well, I don't know how else to describe it.
Did they pitch any of your ideas, or was this like, we're definitely on this one?
No, I auditioned as a sheep scientist.
Okay.
I went in and they were like, right, can you pretend to be... Because we were dressed as sheep as well. Because we were trying to inculcate ourselves with the herd. Flock. It's a flock of sheep, isn't it? It's a herd of cows.
This is confusing me even more. Why are you dressed as sheep?
To be incognito. We have to observe the sheep. Look, it's really...
You want to know what the product's going to become.
The whole of the advert is largely based on Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, right? Which is that, for the people listening at home, I'm sure you know what this is, but I'll explain it to the boys. So it's the idea that a particle behaves differently whether it's being observed or not.
Yeah.
And in many ways, that's what we were aiming for with the sheep scientist advert, because if the sheep were to know that we were studying them, they would behave differently, right? So we had to infiltrate. And
infiltrate.
Yeah.
Sheep.
And so during easy. So during the audition process, they were like, "Could you please act as though you are in the middle of a flock of sheep studying their habits?"
And this is going to be this is in the advert as well. You are dressed as a sheep.
Yeah. I got a whole like sheep helmet and everything. It was excellent. I'll show you a picture of it later. I don't get what's so outrageous about this.
A sheep helmet.
So you got on your head, and then above that, sort of like as like a kind of crest.
Okay.
There's like a sort of like a Native American style headdress, but it's a head of a sheep.
Got you.
Right.
And
I mean, I'm understanding more now.
Yeah, it makes more sense that like this is why we ask questions. So in that audition, and I tell you what, there's nothing more humiliating than that. Like when you're in an audition room, they're like, be a sheep, but also a scientist. You have a clipboard, and so you're there like, whoa, write that down. And then it's even more
sheep behaviour.
I winged it, mate. Winged it. Yeah, that was my years of drama school that I didn't do.
How did you know that you weren't auditioning for Shaun the Sheep?
They were pretty open about the fact that it was a commercial call. Like when it comes to commercials, I mean less so now because auditions don't tend to be as in person anymore. What with the advent of you might have heard about this, there was novel coronavirus. Yeah.
Can we pull that one up?
Yes. Can we chat that? But so now a lot of auditions are self-tapes, so you don't go anywhere, you shoot it at your house. But like for commercial auditions, what would happen quite often is that like it would be like a proper cattle call. Like you'd turn up and there'd be hundreds of people there, like all vying for the same thing, and then they'd be all sent off into different areas. And it was kind of mad. I mean, that was a similar thing actually when I auditioned for a James Arthur music video. Again, which we were like split off into like teams of 10, and we'd be brought into the room, and they'd be like, right, we don't have the music, but can you act like you're listening to a song and having fun? And I want to stress, in both these cases, I got the part.
Right.
So there you go.
How are you meant to guess like the tempo and the rhythm? Like just completely.
I opted for a waltz.
There we are.
Yeah, that's me. I like to keep it sort of off tempo. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. I'm sure he's done it in a waltz structure. That's the sort of thing James Arthur would do.
Yeah, it is very James Arthur.
He was lovely as well. I met him ever so briefly on the set because again there was like millions of people like milling around this. It was the same set, if you remember this, when they used to trail Ant and Dec's Saturday Takeaway. Yeah. They used to do it and for Britain's Got Talent as well. They used to like run down this big street, and there'd be loads of people. It was that street.
Oh, okay.
Which is in what studio was it? It was in a studio, and it's weird when you go onto there because especially that particular street was being used for a lot of adverts and a lot of trailers at the time, and you're sort of there and you're like, oh my god, I'm in television. This is weird. But then you see like the artifice of it because none of those buildings are just flat fronts. It's like an old western town.
How far along was you in your career for that sort of point in time?
So let me think now. I'm gonna have to get my dates in a row. This is hard. So I think the James Arthur video would have been around late 2014. So that would have been about 2 years in. Okay. And the mattress advert. Well, we can date it because of Donald Trump. That would have been November 2017.
Thank you, Trump.
Yeah, it's great to have those anchors, isn't it? Yeah. If nothing else, for all the things he's allegedly done.
Allegedly.
This is the most helpful thing. I don't want to get sued.
Yeah, allegedly. We can't stress that enough.
Allegedly.
We're not breaking any news on the time.
He did it though, but allegedly.
Yeah.
But I mean, like we have had some weird anchor points, haven't we? Like you said, Trump, coronavirus is another.
The world has just become really weird. I feel like that was like an inflection point. Like we just sort of veered on this weird alternate timeline. It feels like.
Well, it's like people talk about how they split the generations up. Like I believe we're all millennials, aren't we?
Yeah, I think you're Gen Z, aren't you?
Oh, how old are you?
22.
You're a child. Jesus Christ.
I'm 27.
I'm being interviewed by children. Right. Okay. So you're just about a millennial, but you're pushing it. Yeah. And you're generation Z.
You're the TikTok generation.
No, please don't say that. No, I'm not.
But like they used to do it by dates, vaguely-ish. But I feel like in the fullness of time, there is going to be the coronavirus generation. Like the ones that were born into a pandemic.
And then the ones that are born after, they just have no, I guess, reference point to that period of time. It's just going to be a segment in a book somewhere and you go, that happened?
Like anyone born post 2008 will never have known a world without smartphones.
Yeah.
Which is, that's mad to think about.
That is scary. I mean, you must remember some of the stuff from
of
analog
course, like,
era,
like VHS.
So that'll be you'll be 2002, 2003, right?
2001.
Oh god, my maths is bad. Okay, right. Here's a question. I'm sure you get this a lot. Were you alive during 9/11? Do you remember where you were?
Ask me this all the time.
Yeah.
I was born before.
All right, so you do remember where you were.
I mean, yeah.
I'm not saying you did it. Like you don't need to.
Yeah, relax. There is cameras in
Why do you look so nervous?
Louis Theroux going to
Damn, maybe I've been set up.
planning this.
I mean, I must have been in
That is a kind of weird thought, though, isn't it?
a
That
cot
people
or
exist.
something. I don't know. I was born in July, so
Oh, so
You had a good few months. You're
Well,
thinking-
a good few months of planning from the sounds of it.
Yeah.
Well-
2 months is enough.
yeah.
I don't know how clever you were
Only
as
took
a
11
as a bab.
I've planned it all out. Maybe
Yeah.
this is why we're all here today. My next plan.
Well, for episode 2
Yeah.
of the podcast, you're going to reveal that you masterminded 9/11.
My
Allegedly.
name is actually Osama. I just wanted to bring that to
Right,
you.
we'll bleep that.
But no,
Osama Williams.
I
I
might
this
have
is
to
just a,
change my name to that.
this episode is just like a test for you. It's like a barometer of how much can we break you within a short amount of time.
I didn't realise that's what this was going to be, but it is that now.
Yeah.
Right, where were you two during 9/11?
Primary school. Year 5, baby.
I would have been 4, so yeah, I don't have much recollection. So it's completely,
It's because you done it as well.
yeah, well, memory wipe.
I remember what classroom I was in when the news broke. It was at Hull St Darcy C of E Primary School. I was in Mr. Blake's class.
Shout.
Shout out Mr. Blake.
Big up.
Love you, buddy. He taught me clarinet. He's a good lad. I don't know what he's doing now. I'm sure he's fine.
We've got some instrument.
Well, no, because he moved away. Don't again. This is you. I feel like you're putting a lot of stuff on me.
I haven't said you've killed anyone. Nobody's dead. Everyone's happy.
Yeah, it was a weird time. It was a weird time because it wasn't that long after. I can't believe we're talking about terrorist atrocities. How have we got here?
It's a completely serious matter.
But it seems so weird. Like, but again, it's sort of what we were getting at though, because like I was I would have been 9, 10 when that happened, and maybe 12, 13 during the 7/7 bombing. So like I was just sort of coming to cognition around the time that the war on terror started.
Yeah.
And I think again, in the fullness of time, we will look back on that particular generation, because that you said about inflection points as well.
Yeah.
Like, I think we can all agree now, maybe not you because you weren't there, but we can all agree now that the 90s weren't that bad really. It was pretty chill overall.
The 3 years that I had of it, yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
I got fed, I got clothes.
Yeah. Not like now.
No. Now I have to do it myself.
Now you're put out on
Naked,
the
shivering
street.
and afraid.
Yeah. I'm lucky I turned up today in clothes. It's,
You found them.
yes.
It's the first time I've seen you in clothes.
Oh, in the previous episode, you must have edited it in post.
Yeah,
Generative
a lot
filling.
of green screen.
It's very choppy in spots.
Yeah.
Yeah, the new AI model for Shane has just come out, so
Yeah, just right.
we've trained it enough.
Shane GPT.
Wrestling.
Yeah,
We've got to talk about wrestling. That's
Oh,
just
okay, we're moving off the acting now.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll come back.
We'll part that.
Park it.
We go on many tangents, don't worry.
Okay, no problem.
This is fresh.
I'm ready to spiral.
Yeah.
Yes, I made my wrestling debut last night. Championship Extreme Wrestling, CEX dub. Although I'm not happy with them at the minute.
Why?
Well, I'll tell you for why. So I was brought in to announce a match. It was the triple threat match for the Extreme title, and during that match, I don't know how it happened, but during that match, I pinned Sassy Bear and won
Right.
the belt. And I expressed myself in a way that the audience didn't necessarily agree with. I might have let it get to my head a bit, just a bit.
Just a little bit.
I may have said the words, "I have conquered the world of cinema," which in retrospect, was quite self-aggrandizing. I can agree. I agree with you. It's quite self-aggrandizing. Yeah, but I was happy. I just won the belt. But then, Rudy Root, right? And this is, you're on notice, Rudy Root, the retro dude himself. While I was celebrating, cheated and rolled me up and pinned me. 1, 2, 3, and then he won the belt. And he's parading around like he's the big I am. But then, fortunately, well, I say not really fortunately because I still didn't get the belt back. But then sort of Joey Naylor put him through an ironing board and pinned him to get his belt back. That belt changed hands 4 times in that match.
And now we have the belt with us.
Yay!
But you had your moment for a brief time.
I had my moment. That
was highlight.
it was quite fun because the audience weren't quite sure how to react. Because, I'd come in sort of like, hey, it's a big-time celebrity coming in, that's the thing, yeah. And then immediately turning heel.
And was this your first wrestling, or is this
It's my first time as an on-screen talent.
Okay.
As Hollywood Lawrence.
And again, no prep, you just go in and wing it? Or?
We prepped certain parts of it. So, we knew we were going to do this. I'd been working with the promoter Adam Parrish, shout out, CX Dub. Beer Sausage Wrestling, best night of your life. So we've been working with it because I wanted to, because it's a local promotion and they're barely 2.5 years old, but they're already pulling in 300, 400, 500 seater shows, which is amazing when you think about it. And the top talent they're getting in. We had Anthony Ogogo on the last show, the governor.
The governor.
But they're getting big names in British wrestling, which is amazing. But anything I could do to help, and he was like, "Well, I've got this idea." And then on the day, I worked it out with the boys in the back, and we put the whole thing together, and all the timings and everything like that. Wrestling's real, and but it was
off the cuff.
You didn't go off piece like The Rock.
But it was very exciting. There's a little sort of dream come true for me. It's sort of as a young wrestling fan with starry eyes, but realising that I don't have the dexterity or the talent.
So you was the kid with the WWE lunchbox at school? Or?
I didn't have the lunchbox, no.
What about the spinny belt?
Oh God, I dropped off by then.
Or do you remember you'd get the gloves with you had a sensor in it, I guess, and you had the little toys and they would punch? Do you remember? You must remember that. Or are you too young?
Too young, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you say your wrestling name's Hollywood Lawrence?
I'm trying to make it stick.
You should have gone with Victor Lawrence.
Why is that?
Well, why is that? Who wanted to call you Victor?
Oh right, okay.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. That was that. Where'd you get that?
Who wanted to call
How
you
much
Victor?
research have you done?
Ethan, who wanted to call you Victor?
My father.
That's it.
Okay, right. I'll try and. Okay, I've got to work this back. When did I say that? When have I said that before?
I told you I'd do the research.
Is it on did I write it in a Substack? Did I say it on a podcast? Have you listened to every podcast I've been on?
We have done research.
Right, so you're going to hear a lot of the same anecdotes. I'm surprised you didn't catch the French mattress one. I've trotted that out a few times.
Well, no, that was fairly new for us.
Yeah.
Oh, I lose track of the amount of times I've told the 5 anecdotes that I have.
Yeah.
But no, I feel like Victor Lawrence would have been a very good villain arc for you.
The problem that you have there though is that I'm there on the basis of who I am as a person. And so if I then randomly change my name to something to a real deep cut from my own personal lore, it might get lost in the shuffle. I'm going to take a drink of water.
No, you're good.
That's a character arc I'd like to see. Evil Ethan.
Evil Ethan. That would be a good.
Yeah.
I'm sure in the fullness of time, some clips will emerge from that show. I mean that we've filmed all of it, so hopefully coming out soon. It'll be very exciting. CX stuff.
CX stuff.
Shout out. But yeah, so that was yesterday at time of recording, which I remind you is Easter Sunday. I've had a busy Easter weekend.
Yeah, happy Easter, everyone. I mean, obviously, you're going to see this after, but
Yeah.
He is risen.
he is alive. He is well.
So let's roll back the rock on another subject.
Oh,
That's a biblical reference.
I figured it's time for, as soon as we're mentioning Easter, it's time for our little quiz that we have for you.
All right, there's quizzes there.
There's a prize at the end of this.
Oh my gosh. All right, so wait. So there's a prize if I win. What happens if I lose?
You don't want to know.
No! This is brutal!
Right. Do you want a easy question first? There's 5 questions in total.
Well, I'm going to have to answer all of them, aren't I?
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to go in ascending order of difficulty, that's how they do it on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. That's a very successful show.
Right.
Can you do a Chris Tarrant impression? Hello. Brilliant!
So, there you go. Okay, I've worked it out.
You want to read that first question?
In the Tarrant voice as well, please.
Wait, oh yeah, okay. Sorry, I was looking at the top.
Yeah, don't read the answer.
Yeah, okay. Okay. So, Ethan. I think I'm breaking next. We'll break you soon. That's not a threat. Allegedly. Hello. So.
I'm so glad this is happening.
It's your laugh that's sending me.
Question 1. What's the name of the local newspaper where you work in Afterlife?
Oh, God, I don't know.
So I'll say it in my normal voice so it might resonate a bit better. So what's the name of the local newspaper where you work in Afterlife?
Got absolutely no idea.
We'll give you, where it's based. Hanbury, obviously.
It's not as basic as the Tanbury Gazette, is it? Yeah, but I mean, you had to walk me up to it.
Yeah.
And this is the easy one.
What's the starting question?
I'm just going to establish something here, right? I think this is very important for the audience at home to understand. When I make something, I watch it once and then never watch it again. So if this is going to be references to stuff that's happened in my career, and that's the easy one, we're in big trouble. Like, because I forget all of it so fast.
Okay.
Even between shooting and it coming out, because there's often people forget this, but there's often like a huge gap.
Yeah.
So
obviously you're also doing multiple projects as well. Like, we're not expecting you to come out with this.
So take Boat Story for example, right? I finished shooting on that in March of 2023. It didn't come out till the November.
Yeah.
And so by the time it came out, I was like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I was in that.
I remember that. Oh yeah, I was cold that day.
Do you remember what you said at 10 minutes in our episode?
Yeah, but if it gets there, the answer's just straight up no, and we can move on.
Right, next one we have another location-based one.
Oh God.
So what's the name of the school in Badge Education?
Oh God. Do you know what jumped straight into my head? And I know it's wrong, but I'm going to say it anyway. What jumped into my head was Mitchell Brook, but I know that's the school that they use on Big Fat Quiz of the Year. So it's not that.
I can confirm it's not that.
No, I don't know.
Okay. Are you sure you want to...
Oh God.
Yeah. You have to get at least 3, so I mean...
Oh,
You really wanted to win.
right. No, wait. Let's think. Okay, so
just
I've just got to try. Don't give me clues. I can get there.
It's going into the Mind Palace.
Just give me a moment. I'm cumberbatching this.
Yeah.
back
just
into
give me
that mindset of Joe Poulter.
Abbey Grove.
Yes.
I'm so stressed. This is the most distressing podcast I've ever done.
Okay, right. We get on to a more recent one.
God.
So hopefully it might assist you a bit. What was the food Officer Ben 2 was after at the buffet in the Boat Story?
Oh, black bean something.
We actually said it earlier. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I wasn't paying attention. I was caught up in my own reverie.
You're halfway there.
Yeah. Is pork and black bean? Oh.
No. King prawns with black bean sauce.
Oh, it's king prawns.
Yeah.
It's king prawns.
Whoever
Shane.
has king prawn with black bean, that's a
Officer Ben 2 does.
He does, but I've never seen
Are
it
you
before.
dissing Ben 2 right now?
Look, I'm not.
God rest him.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Spoilers. We'll get to that. But king prawn with black bean sauce. It's always beef.
Yeah.
Right, quick Chinese, real.
Oh, okay.
I want to get our Chinese orders really quickly.
Out the quiz,
Out of the
okay.
quiz. No. Pause
Pause the quiz.
Pause the quiz.
Park
We'll
it.
come back.
This is like when Chris Tarrant throws to an ad break. Throw it to an ad break.
Ad break.
That's not Chris Tarrant style. It's the way you get into it every time.
The shoulders roll forwards.
You get into it so quick as well. It's like it's just dormant.
It's so natural, and that's what's frightening about it.
I just
You do it in front of the mirror.
Yeah,
Every day.
If there's ever a call for Chris Tarrant, I'll be there. Anyway,
Did Michael Sheen do it in that?
he did.
Yeah. So.
Yes.
Damn you, Sheen! Taking parts away from my buddy Shane.
Chinese order. Don't list everything, just a few items.
Oh, hang on. Yeah, sorry. I
Your
forgot
top
I get
three.
the whole...
Your top three.
Probably, yeah, beef and black bean sauce.
Okay.
Crispy prawn cracker things, whatever they're called.
Prawn
Prawn
crackers.
crackers. You get them with everything.
No,
Wontons?
I can't think what
You're
they're
drinking
called.
prawn toast.
Maybe, yeah, like the kind of seeded...
Sesame seeded triangles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sesame prawn toast.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
That's literally what it is.
Can I just have the prawn?
No. Listen, it's like a bit of toast with prawns on it and like sesame seeds. I can't remember what it's called right now, but it's toast and then prawn and then sesame seeds. I can't think
feel
of what
like
you
I'm
did.
being
fried? I don't know if it's fried.
How come every order that I get attacked for? Last
Nando's.
episode, it was Nando's because I like lemon and herb. I like spicy stuff, but I also like the taste of lemon and herb.
I actually am going to jump in and defend you here. I like the
Thank
taste.
you.
And here's the thing, right? This is the thing that people forget, right? If you get the wrap, it comes with a chili jam.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah, have
It's
that.
spicy now.
I get the sunset burger. Let's get the chili jam. That's all right. That's cool.
I got attacked for my order last episode.
Well, you know, I'm jumping in to defend you, but I will be right back to attacking you in a minute.
Yeah. Third item. We've had the black bean and beef, the prawn toast that you can remember.
It's got like sesame seeds on top.
Yeah, something like that. Oh, what's that other one? It's kind of like it's almost like pasta.
It's a meat from like a bird. I can't think what.
I think it's the...
You think?
Oh God, we're gonna have to piece this together.
I probably had the name wrong again. I mean, I've got the seeded prawn things wrong, whatever they are.
All right, what are you thinking?
King prawn balls.
Okay.
No further questions, Your Honour.
Right, away from my order.
Oh Christ! Now I'm on the spotlight. Crispy chili beef.
Nice.
It's a good shout. Always a good shout. A staple. I'm just gonna call it a staple. Chicken chow mein. It's got to be done.
Nice.
And if I'm feeling really spenny, then some duck with the wraps and the hoisin sauce.
Oh yeah. Very nice indeed. Oh yeah, okay. So, I mean, this is probably specific to my local because they do them so well. But I'm either going to go for a satay or a lemon chicken, depending on my mood.
Okay.
They do these pork pot stickers, which are so good because they really let them stick to the pot. Like there's some crust on that. Oh, lovely stuff. And like you, I'm a big fan of the what's it called? It's like toast. And there's like a
crustacean.
yeah, but it's a specific one. It's one of them those little fellas that got a shit pipe down their back. One of them. You can swear on this, right?
Yeah.
Shit pipe down their back. And they got a little you mash that up all
good.
yeah. Pop that on the toast.
Yeah.
And then there's sort of a layer of like on the top of a burger bun.
Right.
But lots of them.
Got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever that's called. I can't think of what it is right now.
Ethan's cookbook is coming soon. If you want to know how to
Mash that up.
What are sesame
one day at
seeds?
wrestling, now he's
What do you mean? What are sesame? They
What
are
are they?
They are seeds.
What do they grow?
What do you mean? Sesame plants?
Yeah, but why?
Well, why anything? why did tomatoes grow on tomato vines? I don't know, because that's what they do.
But why do we not like put sunflower seeds on a burger?
Well, you
On
could
a
if you
burger
wanted,
bun.
but they're a bit chunkier, aren't they?
But
Oh,
why
It would
don't-
destroy
my mouth.
the structural integrity of the bun.
You've had poppy seeds on a bagel, no?
What do you mean?
Haven't you?
It's a binary option. Have you had poppy seeds on a bagel?
No.
You have to be careful though, because if you get drug tested, apparently it can set off the because it's got I think poppies have opium or something like that.
Yes, they are technically an opiate.
Opiate. So be careful what you have.
Thank you for that information. I'll do.
So you haven't had one, just to be sure.
Am I being drug tested right now?
This is how we do it now.
Yeah.
Have you got a bagel? Don't lie to me, boy.
We don't even bet it.
I smell like cream cheese.
And with salt beef as well, for shame.
We can see the seeds in your teeth.
A pastrami on rye.
But no, I haven't. I haven't had.
Back to the questions.
Oh, okay.
Are they about sesame seeds?
Not anymore.
Okay, right.
We'll cut that one.
Okay.
This is the second time you say cut that out. How much of this is actually going to go up? It's going to be a 5-minute ep.
Yeah.
If that. Right. So another one far back in time.
Wait, is this question the third?
This would be your...
Oh, fourth, yeah.
Fourth question.
Right, so I'm 2 for 3 right now.
What condition did Alfie Wickers make up about Joe's mum?
Oh, I remember this one. Because this gets shouted at me in the street. Palmer syndrome.
Wait, yes, but why does it get shouted to you in the street?
People latch on to the weirdest things that you've done. Like, and the worst thing is, again, because I watch it once, and then someone comes at me with like such a niche reference, and I'm like, yeah. Yeah, of course, yeah.
You!
Yeah, no, that was crazy. But like, no, I've had it before. Like, I've had like van drivers. I was like, Palmer syndrome. Yeah, all right. Cheers, mate.
It's a new level of catcalling.
Oh, some of them I get. Oh.
Well, I mean,
Cake!
You're 3 questions right, so your prize is confirmed. But
Yeah.
just for the fun of
This
it,
is for the beans.
you know, who plays Tony's dad in Afterlife?
Oh, David Bradley.
Well
The
done.
legend that is. That
Well
one's
done.
easy. Like,
Yeah. You should have
that was
started
the easiest one.
I didn't want to
Broken
give
in.
you the easiest one first. I wanted you to panic. I wanted to see you.
Oh,
sweat.
right, okay. So you actually shifted the easiest one
Yeah.
from the beginning to the end.
Right.
Because you've done your research, so I know for a fact that you know I've spoken about David Bradley very flowingly and beautifully in interviews.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're right there.
That time I got completely misrepresented by the Daily Express. You've probably seen that.
I haven't.
No.
Oh, it's great. So I was on a different podcast. The other podcasts are available, but don't listen to them though. Listen to this one.
Yeah. Thank you. We're using that.
Imprint Studios, sponsor, and also Deliveroo or whatever it was. So I did a podcast interview where I said, because I was asked about the shooting process on Afterlife, and specifically about like corpsing and like laughing during takes, and I said that it was like it really hurts my professional pride by the fact that I actually cannot genuinely keep the laughter in. Like, I like to think of myself as a very, very professional actor, but like I'm laughing all the time. I can't stand it. Headline: Afterlife actor brand set unprofessional. I hate it. No, not what I said. Daily Express, you hacks.
I think I did actually see the headline. I was thinking, surely that.
Doesn't happen often. I don't often get quoted in newspapers, but that was the one time, and it was a perfect example of how you can
Completely
take and change things that people say to construct a narrative. I mean, to be fair to them, they did actually produce what I actually said in the body of the text. But of course, people just see the headline, don't they?
Wait until they cut this. Ethan Lawrence, 9/11.
Ethan Lawrence accuses podcaster of doing 9/11 as a baby.
But
Cut that.
we're going to call Nicola. Could you present Ethan with his gift, please?
Oh, here we go.
Oh!
Now, I wasn't sure on what you'd like.
Oh, thank you so much. Look at this. Oh, God. I've banged the microphone into my face. Shit. Right. This is a dairy milk and white marble.
Half and half.
That is incredible. Thank you so much.
Are available.
Oh, my God. They've got one bag of chunks.
Yes!
I love chunks.
Yes. Yeah, I wasn't sure what you'd like, so...
That is so kind of you. Thank you so much.
But there you go. There's your
In the
gift for
spirit
winning
of
your
Easter.
quiz. You know, Easter Sunday, as we said, it's probably going to come out
Yeah.
way after Easter, but... Yeah. that
Cadbury's,
right there.
hire me. Now I'm going to put that down
Yeah,
there.
well-
Because, and I'll tell you for why. Undue prominence, that's why. They ain't paid me a cent. So until that happens,
Send it in.
I've not the microphone so much. I've worried that I'm not going to be heard anymore.
You're
But it's
good,
going to be
you're
alright.
good.
Okay.
They're surprisingly good.
I'm concerned that no one's going to hear what I have to say.
In terms of audio issues, don't worry. We've had our fair share already.
That's promising.
So what can you do from failure but learn?
Yeah. I mean, I think this is the longest we've had on our actual good audio this time.
Yeah.
Last episode completely bugged out and we lost an hour of audio, so we had to use every single camera, splice them all together. And yeah, that was a very fun and...
So this should be going swimmingly.
They're going to get this out in a couple of days. You watch.
Yeah.
If you notice, my eyes just keep checking to make sure that light's still on.
Oh, I just thought you were distracted. Oh yeah, it's very
I'm
interesting.
thinking about those sesame seeds, that's why I can't get them out.
That has genuinely thrown you.
But yeah, obviously in other interviews you've spoken about the set of Afterlife being very relaxed. Obviously a Ricky Gervais set famously being quite, early on finishing and stuff like that. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so I mean, I feel if you've ever watched like a Sunday magazine program where they get all the celebrities on and they ply them with food, and then Tim Lovejoy gives them the softball question. The question to anyone who's worked on a Ricky Gervais set is, "Hey, I hear he likes to finish early," and it's like, yeah, he does. Like, and it's a wonderful thing because his whole. So because he's the director, writer and star, that means he has an outsized level of control over sort of the day-to-day running of production, as opposed to how it normally can be when all of those different areas are siloed. So he knows exactly what he wants. He knows where he's going to shoot, how he's going to shoot. He shoots very innovatively by having like two cameras cross each other so they can just use the same audio track for both. It's all about time management. And that time management then pays off in two ways. Number one, it means we can clock off early. Crew get to go and see their families, which is a joy for them because that happens so rarely when people are shooting. What a joy! And the other thing is it gives time for play, which is very important for a Ricky Gervais joint. Because that's often where a lot of the magic can be found. Because not to toot my own horn, but he tends to find actors that are comfortable with improv and can come up with funny stuff on the fly. Less so for me because I was paired off with David Earl playing Brian Gittins, and all you have to do is just wind him up and then step back and watch. All I had to do to succeed was do nothing, and I did that. I did nothing.
And was this your first show with Ricky?
Yes.
Afterlife? So, because I know he normally brings in quite a familiar group of people.
Yeah, and it was the case with this as well. It's just that because I suppose the difference with Afterlife is that there was a sense that we were trying to create sort of like a portrait of an actual lived-in town, as opposed to sort of like some of these previous projects are sort of like very single location based, like the office in an office, and Derek is set in a very specific place and time also. But this one we had to get the sort of the feel of the town, and the town's made up of people, so it was a wider ensemble that I was obviously very grateful to be a part of. But yeah, there were also the old standards in there, your Colin Holtz, your David Earls.
Stepping into that world and with people who are already quite comfortable working together, they've probably already established a dynamic. Was that quite simple to just put yourself in there?
Oh yeah, because 99.9% of the people who work in this industry are lovely anyway.
Yeah.
So it's very easy to integrate, and with this as well, because we had read throughs and rehearsals and stuff, we had a run up before we get in there. Sometimes it can be that you don't have that run up at all, and so you sort of parachuted in. And you're like, ugh. Especially if you're playing a part in one episode or something. For example, I did Doc Martin, for example, and that's that is very isolated because they shoot down in Cornwall with a local crew, and it was the same crew every time. And again, it's a very tight knit group of people. But again, they were so welcoming because this happens every week. Someone blearily emerges from a 6-hour train journey being like, where am I? What do you want me to do?
What is this?
Stand on a wall, is it?
You live on set, I think.
Yeah, the main cast sort of basically take over Port Isaac for 6 months. But I mean, for me, I was just supplanted in a hotel nearby because I was not deemed important enough to buy a house for. Which is fair. I'm not complaining.
Here's a property for 1 episode.
Thank you. I will be in for 4 days.
But obviously like you've mentioned again in other interviews, you was on as just the recorder flute kid.
Recorder kid.
Yeah. How
The man, the myth, the legend.
Right, we had a little bit of a debate on the way here as well about the song you was playing.
Yep.
So it came up as, what was the first thing it came up as when?
It was some track that didn't sound anything like
Yeah,
it.
it was called like the Epiphany or something that came up and was like
The
what?
Epiphany.
I mean, it's like this doesn't sound right. I said I
it's
swear
Beethoven's
it's got
Fifth,
London. I swear it's got London in the title.
London's burning.
Yeah.
London's
burning.
Well
London's
done, Nicola.
burning.
Nicola
Fetch
was
the
right.
engines. Fetch the engines. Pour on water. Pour on water.
I feel like we've indirectly.
We've switched them on.
Yeah.
Sleep range.
I'm ready now. Basically, every part I play, I Manchurian candidate myself. And all I need is just a trigger word and I'm in.
But I've lost it.
Recorders.
Something about recorders.
London's burning.
The fact that I was called Recorder Kid and then called James later.
Yes. So that aspect of obviously going in to play that specific character for that episode, to then get the call back obviously later on to come back on season 2. What were your feelings on, first of all, just that first episode? Like, was you happy at that time to even be cast as, the Recorder Kid, or?
As I alluded to earlier, so like it was a nice sort of thing to go like, oh great, like that's a dayer, one dayer, lovely, go in, have a bit of fun, money in your pocket,
Yeah.
firm pat on the bum, off you go, perfect, lovely. The problem, which again has been alluded to many times, it's part of my lore, was that immediately after doing that my career fell apart, and so I went into pizza delivery for a year, and it was only after that that I got the call to go back for Series 2. So, like, obviously it was great that happened anyway, but the fact it also coincided with, like, actually getting my career back on track had an sort of added extra frisson to the to the arrangement. So, yeah, I was thrilled. And, again, I'm ever so grateful for the opportunity. Like, I think, I sort of put myself down a bit, but I think it's myself. It's because Joe Hartley, really. Like, it's because Joe Hartley's amazing, and I just brought along for the ride, I think. But we found stuff to do. Like the whole thing in season 3, when I'm spending a lot of time with Brian Gittins, or at least my character is, came from the fact that myself and David Earl, when we were doing scenes in the newsroom, where we weren't the focus at all, but like we sort of just had a kind of weird chemistry, which is something you can't teach that. Like it's just sometimes it happens. You work with a fellow performer, and like you just click.
Yeah.
And like we're constantly, you look at Series 2 in the background, we're always constantly doing little bits, like little things in the background, and then of course there's the infamous cake scene. Cake! Cheers, mate. It's weird having strangers yell cake at you, like. But so yeah, again, so I felt like I sort of found my footing there, which was good, and I'm glad we did it.
And like you was quoted saying that you viewed it as a sort of safety net of sorts at the time.
Yeah, so when like if you're in like something that is going to run, it's very rare as an actor to be able to go, I know what I'm going to be doing in 6 months.
Yeah.
It basically never happens. And so like when you get something like that that's a recurring series, that you can think to yourself, right, I've just got to hang on until X, and then I can start doing stuff. It really quells the anxiety of doing acting. So for example, right now, I'm very anxious because frankly my industry's on its arse. Unfortunately, there's no money. The twin snakes of Brexit and the cost of living is making stuff completely unaffordable to do. Yeah. And so there's no money floating around. So the amount of parts has shrunk, and because the amount of parts has shrunk, more people are competing for less parts, and it's tough out there. It's tough out there, lads.
So if anyone's watching that wants to hire Ethan,
hire me. I'm good. I'm well good though.
If you need sheep parts,
I've done. I mean, you can't watch it. It's not available anywhere.
I'm sure there's like some sort of file somewhere.
It exists somewhere in some vault in Marseille.
We've got it. Right?
No, you went all the way to Dijon.
I had to learn French specifically to get this file. But yeah, so like obviously I was going to get on to like, do you still like view it as that sort of safety net thing? Because obviously as you said, it came right off the sort of back of the pizza delivery, feeling like your industry had crumbled away, kind of. I was going to say, do you still view it as that? And obviously, as you've just said, like the anxieties come back.
Yeah, because it's finished.
Yeah.
Like, you know, once you know that that's gone, you're like, oh right, well that's one safety net removed, and you're like, ugh. And so like, I mean, Horrible Histories is a good example. It was great that we got to do series 10 and 11 back to back, but it also means that we now don't get to make any more until 2025. Yeah. And so it's like, like that's if they even want me back. Like you can never rely on these sorts of things. Like, you know, it's the sort of the balance you have to strike and like the tightrope you have to walk as an actor is thinking to yourself, right, I've got this maybe, but also I can't rely on it because if it falls through, I can't pay the rent with dreams. Yeah. So, you know, it's tough out there. I wouldn't choose this industry if I was you listening at home. And that's, I'm only saying that to be nakedly territorial. That's
stop trying to come for Ethan's part.
Yeah. There aren't enough already. Just leave me alone.
So is pizza delivery back on the menu, or are you?
Oh yeah, certainly. I mean, I'm certainly not too proud to go back. Yeah. And like, you know, if I need to, because like, you know, I think there's a certain. Again, it's something I've tried to sort of dispel in sort of like my writings and my witcherings. The idea that like once you've done a series, you're set for life. No way, not even close. Like, you know, the pay that you get is good if you're looking at it as like a weekly salary, but the job's over in 6 weeks. Yeah. And so like then you don't have anything else. So yeah, I'm certain. But the thing I like to dispel is not only that, like, you know, once you do that, you're set for life, but also that actors are afraid of hard work. Yeah. Like we're not. Like a lot of people, you know, on my rung and lower work day jobs to like, you know, see these things through. I've been very lucky in my career that you know, there's only been one point where I've had to because otherwise it's been fairly consistent with the work.
So the pizza job was the first time you had to kind of go down that route of
yeah. So like you got the run from 2012 through to 2018, which was like, you know, I was putting in maybe 3 or 4, you know, significant jobs a year, which was you know, it was good innings. Yeah. But then it's like, and you'd think to yourself, well, that's 6 years. That's 6 years of near consistent working. You must have been rolling in it. I'd run out of money in 3 months. Like, you know, it's and you know, that's with budgeting effectively, because like, you know, you have to put everything. It costs to be an actor. Like, you know, you have to pay to update your spotlight. You have to pay to update your IMDb. Before all the self tapes coming, you'd have to pay to go into auditions. Auditions themselves are unpaid. So like, you know, you'd be, you know, I live in Essex. Like, you know, I live in Malden. Big up Malden Salt. I'm going to mention them again. Hopefully they'll send me some more. No, that's greedy. Don't watch this, Malden Salt. This is embarrassing. Oh no, I feel I'm shilling now. Sorry, Malden Salt. I love you. I like your garlic one especially.
Malden Salt, can you just come in for us?
Oh! Mr. Salt! John Salt. What was I saying? Oh yes, so like I go in from Essex, so that's a commute into London. That's a train. That's, you know, it used to be like 20 quid, and so like, you know, I'm already in the red, and that's before I've even got to my job interview. So yeah, it's those little expenditures like gradually add up and up. It is a good thing for my wallet that there are a lot of self tapes nowadays. But then that runs concurrently with the issue that I have with self tapes, which is that you don't have as much direction as you'd like. You basically have to sort of guess. Yeah. And it's very lonely. Like, you know, I like being in the room with like casting directors and working with them to create something. It's very lonely to have to sit there and record yourself saying lines into a phone that's on a little tripod that you've balanced on a chair on a book. And like, it's tough. Like it's can be, I especially found it quite difficult last year, when you know, I'd finished After Boat Story, and like, you know, there was nothing new on the horizon, and so it was like I was doing these self tapes, and it just felt like I was just throwing them into a hole, because like you don't hear anything back in the first round. So like you'll get sort of like emails saying no or whatever as you get further in. Yeah. So like once you start getting recalls, but like for that first round, you send off the tape, and that's it. Yeah. You don't hear anything. And so like the only way you know you didn't get it is when principal photography starts, and you're like, oh well, guess I didn't get it. Yeah. But even then, there's a part of you thinking to yourself, production's probably just delayed. Yeah, they'll be around it a bit, and then it comes out on the telly, and you're like,
Right.
It should have been me. It should have been me. Who do they hire this twat? Look at him. What has he got that I haven't?
But
The job.
Yeah.
But on recording yourself and stuff like self-tapes, obviously you've had a spur on Cameo, stuff like that.
Yeah, Cameo.
I do have a video to show you.
Oh, did you buy one?
At one point in your time, yes. So let's see if... I mean, you're never going to remember this, obviously.
No.
I know that.
Well, because like when it comes through on the app, I just get like a couple of first names and a bit of like detail and bump of what I need to be told. I should say, like, because I know for a lot of actors, like, you know, well, for a lot of people on Cameo, it's like this huge thing. Like, people charge like upwards of like 200, 250 quid a pop for the videos. I don't do that at all. My Cameo is essentially a tip jar. Like, if you've enjoyed my work, I keep it as competitive as I possibly can without actually losing money. So I think my Cameo price is like 12 quid or something, which is like, if I go any lower than that, then Cameo's cut gets to the point where I may as well just not bother.
Have you had like any, I don't know if you can say, but have you had any like weird requests from Cameo or?
Not weird requests, no. I have to sometimes turn some down because like they're asking for like quite a production.
Right.
Like, you know, they're saying, can you like dress up in a tuxedo and whistle Yankee Doodle Dandy? And I'm like, this is costing you 12 quid. I'm not buying a tuxedo for a 12 quid video. Like, you can have what I give you and like it. But that's the thing, it's not a money maker for me, it is a tip jar. So if you have enjoyed my work, chuck 12 quid in the pot. I'll do a nice video for your mum. Hey, it's Easter.
Strangely, it was for my mum.
See? The system works.
We'll chuck it up on the video.
Oh, you made me put a tie on. You bastard. Right.
Hello, Tara. Ethan Lawrence here with a video booked for you by your son Taylor, who's asked me to deliver you a message as the character I played in Bad Education, Joe Polter. Quick sort of side note before we get into the meat of that. Obviously, I've got a beard at the minute. A lockdown beard, and my hair has exploded. There's not really much I can do about it either, but I did dig out the tie from...
See?
Ask him
Here we
for
go.
the tie.
I'm looking for the girls to slide into my DMs, not through the week, only on the weekends. That's from your favourite artist, TW, and I was asked to do that as Joe Polter, so I tried. I've really been trying. I'm sorry to hear that you've been stressed recently. I hope this cheers you up.
This is fucked.
And yeah, sorry it's not exactly perfect, but I did the best I could.
We probably need some context for...
Yeah.
What I like especially about this is that I did actually mention it in the video, but you can really date this by the fact that my hair is absolutely insane. Because like this was mid-lockdown. So like I've got like near enough an afro going on.
The question is, do you remember it?
No, of course not. I don't remember like parts that I played in significant television shows. I don't remember a cameo that I did 3 years ago.
Imagine if you did, though.
Yeah.
I remember every single one.
Imagine if you turn around. I can recite that line right now.
That's really eye-opening for me, and it's made me realise that I need to delete my cameo. That is the worst thing I've ever seen.
Swings and roundabouts.
People pay for that. Can you imagine?
But it made my mum very happy.
I don't care. No, it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
The lyrics were quite something, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, a little backstory to what those lyrics were. Basically, when I was younger, I'm a child now.
Last year.
Before you say it, yeah.
Yeah.
I went by the name of TW. I'd done rap.
That's very clever because that's your initials.
Yeah.
I didn't get it.
I've cracked the code, mate.
This is my cousin, and he didn't know that.
It took me way longer.
That's
than it should
shameful.
He's only just realised that.
This is a shame of you.
have. Oh.
Oh, because it's your name.
But,
Sesame seeds.
yeah, I had a...
to be fair,
I had a brief...
between the pair of you.
Yeah. No chance. Is it recording?
So lots of nods from Nick.
But I had a brief stint in rap.
Right.
And very, very good rap music. We'll show you some of that after.
No, you will put it on the podcast.
No, we're not.
I have to sit through that, and you're no. You get it up right now. How dare you? You're gonna cook me and then protect yourself. You coward. You knave.
I feel like my dad's come back.
You scoundrel. You pimpernel. I'll have your guts for garters.
Okay. Which song do you think I should?
That one. I want to hear the rendition. The real rendition of.
That's research, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
Act like you don't know.
Right.
Come on.
I
Chop.
found it. I've just got to double check that the sound hasn't now been copyrighted because then I can't. Let me have a look. Okay, we're all good to go. Only on those weekends. I now get what you mean about listening back.
Proud about what you did?
I'm going to stop it now.
All right, yeah, you got the option to do that. Not nice. Not nice, was it?
No, it was not.
And we've all learnt a lesson about how we should treat others.
But
I don't have anything.
Well,
you have nothing. You've done nothing, achieved nothing.
Ethan, do you know what chat roulette is?
I've heard of chat roulette. It was the big business back in the day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Along with that, and Omegle, whatever it was. Yeah.
You know what chat roulette is, don't you, Shane?
Yes.
Oh, you didn't get your willy out on
No,
it.
no. Allegedly.
Oh, Shane.
No.
Oh, Shane, you shouldn't do that.
That's why it shut down though.
Yeah.
No, I used to do videos of me singing on chat roulette as like George Michael with a shoe polish moustache.
Give us a tune then. Woo! Now go on. Since we're sharing.
Come on, carry on.
We'll get a clip of it and we'll chuck it on the video.
No.
No, we're live.
Ethan's had to do it. I've had to do this. It's your turn now.
You wouldn't have done it yourself if I hadn't forced the issue. So you don't act all high and mighty now. However, I was ambushed. I ambushed you, and now I ambush you.
Right.
And then we're moving on to you, Nick.
Throw me a tune then. You know Careless Whisper, come on.
No, this is all you.
Oh, you're doing
I'll
it.
sing-
We're
I'll
not
sing-
helping you. We're doing it a
I'm a
cappella.
one-man band, okay.
You're a cappella. Go.
I don't know what you want me to do.
The lyrics.
Sing.
Get to it.
Sing for us.
Sing, monkey.
Guilty feet I've got.
Can you make eye contact with Ethan while you do it?
I'm gonna take make eye contact with me. I'm gonna drink some water while you do it.
Come on.
What's the lyrics? Can I get the lyrics then?
How did
I don't know. I was
You were-
miming. It
you-
wasn't me singing.
you still knew it, right?
Yeah, I know. The worst.
And the thing is, we can't actually play the song because that
Yeah,
will
yeah.
definitely get copyright struck. But your terrible version of it might not.
It definitely won't.
AI won't pick that one up.
There you go.
Okay.
Right.
This one's for.
I know you've got to keep some of your eyes on the lyrics, but if you can just flick up and look at
Yeah,
my eyes
sorry,
occasionally,
yeah. Okay. I'm never gonna dance again. Guilty feet, I've got no rhythm. Though it's easy to pretend. I know you're not a fool. Whoa. You can find me on chat roulette anytime.
Oh, hang on, wait.
I'm not going to sing the whole song.
I was hoping for the
Give
whole.
some royalties to old George.
God rest him.
Yes.
Can I just say?
Spoiler alert. If you haven't seen the Faith documentary, someone might not have.
Can I just say? I loved. As soon as I look over to you, I just see you going.
Yeah, I was trying to be as upsetting as possible.
Yeah, it was good.
Yes, I'm aware this is being recorded for video. That was for you, ladies and gentlemen at home.
I
And
think we've all
now,
broken. So.
and now Nicholas. No, I'm joking.
Nicholas like, I'm not having any part in this. That's fair enough. Don't say that.
Are you
Don't say
sure?
that.
They're quite good. They're quite good at research this
No,
time.
no. Definitely not.
Are you sure?
No.
To be fair, Nicola's been nothing but kind to me throughout, so I'm not willing to throw her under the bus. Unlike you, gentlemen. Oh, it's got very tense in the room
Yeah.
suddenly.
Ooh.
It's just dropped by 5 degrees. Woo! What do you want to know?
How do we get back into this?
How did we even get to this?
I don't know.
Oh, you played the...
Because you wanted to talk about Cameo.
Yes.
I briefly plugged it.
Yeah.
And then was like, don't buy it.
Yeah. Well, only after I saw it.
Yeah.
I'll be deleting it after this podcast.
Get them in quick.
To interject into our real world right now, outside of the show, just for a moment.
Okay.
We have got a little segment called Mum's Minute. We need to double check if your mum has sent her video reply.
Don't have my phone, but yeah,
Basically, we've got both of our mums to ask a question to you. And we've got a little segment. We've got a little tune. It's not going to play. We'll play it in a second so you can hear the little tune. But,
Why are there so many format points? This is a game show.
Just wait, it gets better.
Oh, God. I thought this was going to be an interview. I didn't realise we were going to be playing it to knockout.
Yes.
Oh, you're looking at each other and nodding.
We got a thing in a minute.
Oh, God.
We always have a thing.
Is there any...
I feel so under attack.
Right. Well, this is the little tune that's going to play. Okay. Not that, hang on. Wait for this bit to go. We'll get to the chorus. Chorus is the bit that's playing, but this is for Mum's Minute.
Mother's Minute. The minute where mothers ask questions.
Okay, this bit.
I don't know what you wanted me to do. Like, you're looking at me like nodding and winking like, huh?
Do it.
Huh? Huh?
Dance,
Huh?
monkey,
Come on.
dance, monkey, dance.
And I'm like, what?
Well, that's the song that's playing. So what we're going to do, me and Shane are going to be like, oh, hang on, what's that noise? Nothing is playing. So this comes back to your dancing for James Arthur thing. There is no music playing right now.
Right, okay. Is this
yeah.
part of the podcast?
Yeah, I
Is this going to be in the show? I don't know what's going on anymore.
Right now, this is not in.
Oh, so all that gold.
No. Like, right this
That
second.
bit where I just said to you, oh, and that was funny. Because you were looking at me and winking. Is that not in?
We'll put that in. But technically, this
Because
is
I will stop doing gold if we're not recording.
Right.
I will go back to bronze.
Right. Technically, this bit isn't in.
Right,
Okay.
but you have to put it in now because I will reference the fact that we've done this.
Right.
Don't think I won't.
So me and Shane, we're gonna be like, oh, what's that noise?
Right.
And we're just gonna start boogieing along.
Right, and I've
And then
got
it's gonna go to the wide angle. We're all gonna be boogieing.
right,
Then it's gonna cut to a title card. So then we don't have to boogie anymore.
right, okay.
Okay. And then we're gonna.
Are we going to keep all of this in?
Yeah. All of this is staying.
This is good because this sort of adds. If I watch this video and this has been removed, I'm going to be so angry because I feel like the segment is flimsy at best, and I feel like the only thing that's really keeping it afloat is sort of this meta-textual angle that we're going for.
Right.
Take the lead.
You're just going to show me some videos of your mums. Like I don't. Like ultimately, like I'm trying to be excited, but I'm
They are going to ask a question and you
Right.
just answer the question.
right.
That is it.
And then they have to watch the video.
I haven't vetted my mum's question, so...
What?
I've vetted mine. We'll go
So we have no idea what's going.
Right,
We have to cut all of this.
Shane's mum has only just come through with the reply, so we'll see what that. Don't play it. We're
I won't.
we're gonna be surprised to that one.
Okay.
I
Right.
know what this one is, so
Yeah, it's...
yeah. To prepare you, his mum will literally say anything.
Right,
Just
good.
goes
We
horrible.
have no idea what she can.
So
can
there
ask
is
you.
a very real chance that none of this makes it in.
This could be cancelled right now.
This is-
timeout show.
We
There
are
is
on-
genuine
We
jeopardy
are skating.
now. And we
Right.
definitely have to leave all the metatextual stuff in there. And then what happens is, if that is unusable, then again, title card, technical difficulties,
Yeah.
and then we'll cut to something like we'll cut to halfway through a different
We'll
conversation.
cut to the mattress advert.
We'll just bring that back. Do the whole first half of the interview again.
Right.
It's like poetry, it rhymes.
Okay, everybody. Okay. Shane, do you hear that noise?
What is it?
It's flawless. It didn't look. It didn't look. It didn't look at all staged.
Come on,
All right.
boogie, boogie.
I'm being coerced into this. All right, you know what? I'm not letting that go out without context. You have to leave. We gotta leave all that in because that no.
It's a visual podcast.
Because otherwise, that's just they'll read the cynicism. They'll be able to tell that. Like, I'm not into it, you're not into it, Nicola's not into it. No one enjoyed that. Right. Let's see this video then.
Here's my mother.
Okay. What's your mother's name, did she say?
Tara.
Hi, Tara. Oh, of course I did. I did cameo, didn't I? How soon we forget. That's how quickly it goes. Like, as soon as I've done a thing, it's gone. Right. Let's see what Tara has to say.
Hey, it's the Time Out Show and it's ready for Mum's Minute. My question today is for Ethan. Now, my appearance has changed a lot recently due to cancer treatment. I just wondered whether you'd consider drastically changing your appearance like some celebs do for a role, or would you stay just the way you are, the way we love you?
That was very sweet in the end. That was nice.
A bit of sweetness before possibly ruining everything.
And first of all, I hope the treatment's going well. Get well soon.
Thank you.
Right, so drastic changing of appearance. So, famously, throughout Bad Education, I had a succession of terrible haircuts. These were real. The bowl cut for Series 2 I had for 7 weeks. And it took a further year to get it cut in just so that it wouldn't look like that anymore. And then obviously Series 3, a lot off. So I'm not averse to drastically changing my appearance for a role. However, there is, nowadays, if something like that is going to happen, there should be a commensurate bump in pay. And there usually is. Because, like, if you do something drastic like that, you are closing yourself off for potential other roles. And so that's sort of how that generally works. I haven't actually had to do that to any significant degree since Bad Education. Usually they're just happy for me to be me. So TLDR, yeah, but pay me. I'm fine with changing my appearance, but it needs to be done fairly, because otherwise, if I end up like shaving half my head off and I'd like to lose like 16 stone.
Put on a tuxedo.
Yeah. I'm not for 12 quid. Can't get a tuxedo for 12 quid. I'm getting in the red at that point. That's not a tip.
But there you go. That's question 1.
Thanks, Tara.
Thanks, Tara.
Right, here we go. What hell awaits?
Let's see. We'll just play and see what happens.
Hi. Would you wear odd socks? And the other question, boxers or pants?
What?
Oh, that's fine. Bye.
Is she just asking you what your wardrobe is?
First of all, that was 2 questions. So already
The brief is off.
Already the segment has completely derailed. Like, you're really going to have to work on this moving forward, because if there's no discipline to what's going on here. That's one note. Sorry, I didn't even ask your mum's name. What's your mum's name?
Her name is Alex.
Hi, Alex. No, I do not wear odd socks. I think the people who do that are psychopaths. I can't imagine why you would. Yeah. They're looking down. They come in pairs for a reason, lads. Come on. No, so yeah, I wouldn't wear odd socks because I'm not a degenerate pervert. Speaking of being a degenerate pervert, boxers. I like the opportunity for a bit of free flowing down there. I don't like to be too compressed.
Yeah.
Because I have been compressed in the past. Every time I have had to get me old bum out for the old telly, which is more. It's happened more times than I think it reasonably should for someone who looks like I do. But quite often you'll get what's called a modesty pouch, and it's a little. So it's like a string.
It's like a kind of cubby hole type thing,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it's like a little cloth. Like in the medieval times. Like they'd give people like little coin purses and things like that. It's like that, but you put your tackle in it.
Go yeah.
So you cram it in there, and it's sort of like a tie that sort of goes around you. But it's I had one once. I can't remember what job it was, but I had one once that it was so tight. I felt like I was getting trisected, which is quite a thing. It's quite a feeling to feel like your body's going in 3 different directions, all focused around your testicles. And so what I'm trying to drive at here is that I've had to have my testicles compressed for money. And I hate to bring up money again, but in my everyday today life, I will wear boxers because I get enough of that at work.
So if the price is right, you can compress.
If the price is right, I will take off my trousers and pants and I will be in your television program.
Does it have to be just television? Can it just be a video?
I'll do it for film if I must. I'm not doing it on the Cameo. Don't even try it. I will just dismiss your video without it. It won't even. Here's the thing: it won't even be worth you doing that because I will just delete it. So it's a waste of time.
Can people not like enter custom amounts? Is that not a thing on Cameo?
They can, but no one ever has.
So what if somebody after this they request, I don't know, £5,000 for you to?
Oh.
Do I have to fully display? Because I believe that's against Cameo's TOS.
No, you can coin purse it.
So I get a modesty pouch.
Yeah.
Then yes.
There you go. You've heard it here. £5,000
minimum.
Add a tip.
But not in the video. Hey, come on!
That was a good one.
That's what she said. Moving on. What was that?
That was a cough.
Did you fart?
Did you try and hide that?
No. I had a tickly throat.
Oh heavens.
I don't know how either of you managed to do this without taking on fluids.
Honestly, no idea.
Just a little IV pouch.
Yeah.
Do you people just not like water or something?
We're lizards.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
We do have some water somewhere, I think.
Yeah.
Did we not bring them in?
I think we left them in the car.
Oh, brilliant. Okay.
Outside. You know we like to leave stuff here.
Yeah.
Well, it's not as warm as it was yesterday, so it might still be somewhat tepid if you get back in time.
But
I left a jar of
Minute,
cranberry.
sorry,
I left a jar of
Minute.
cranberry sauce in my car yesterday.
What?
Cranberry sauce.
Yeah.
Did you take it back out?
Yeah, I took it when I got home. Yeah.
Did you throw it away?
No, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it.
There was tissue.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I'm going to put it on my roast dinner tonight.
So if we don't hear from Ethan after tonight, we know.
I don't think cranberry sauce can spoil.
It must be.
But it's like a jelly, isn't it? It's like preserved.
That's true.
Like a jam or a honey.
Potentially, then you might be okay.
It was only in there for like a day. Half a day.
But a hot.
I
day.
bought it on the way to the wrestling. So like it was already late afternoon.
But wait, why did you bring it to wrestling?
I can't believe I had to explain this to you.
Yeah,
I forgot to get cranberry sauce on Good Friday, and if I waited until today, all the shops would be shut. Dingus!
I thought you might have used it in the wrestling.
Are you insane?
What are you on about?
What?
Don't do this gesture like I'm supposed to know what you're talking about. Oh, you like just slather it on yourself. Yeah, that's what you want to be when you're wrestling. Sticky.
Well, yeah. If you get into any hole,
I didn't buy it for the wrestling. I said I left it in the car. So obviously didn't take it out, did I?
maybe you forgot.
I wouldn't forget something like that. I had to buy it on the way.
I'm saying maybe you forgot to take it out the car for the wrestling.
But I had to buy the cranberry sauce on the way to the wrestling. It was top of mind.
And you might have used it.
But if I was planning to use it for the wrestling, I would have remembered it was there.
But you didn't remember because you left it in the car.
Because I didn't bring it for the wrestling. I bought it for my roast dinner tonight.
But you forgot it in the car.
I didn't forget it in the car. I said I left it in the car while I was at the wrestling because I bought the cranberry sauce on the way to the wrestling. Shane, have you lost interest or something?
Yeah, sorry. I think Nick's signaling some...
Yeah.
I bought it on the way because I knew I wouldn't have a chance to do it later, is my point.
To do the cranberry sauce. You want
To buy the cranberry sauce. No, that's not fair. No, you're misrepresenting me. You don't think I meant that. You're just trying to be funny. Don't try and be funny.
Daily Mail, you've heard it here.
All right, Daily Mail, do your worst. I left cranberry sauce in a car.
No.
Is that too woke for you?
He wanted to do the cranberry sauce.
What?
That's the quote.
This is a new thing now. If I'm not slathering myself in it from a wrestling show, I'm having sex with it. This is what this has become.
Yes.
This never happened to Flint and Taylor.
No.
There were some things that, I mean, this will be cut though, because I'm going to say there were some things that were cut.
But now you've said that, we can't continue the cranberry discussion, so it's going to be a choppy edit. Sign up to the Patreon to find out all the cut bits.
Time Show Plus.
Where obviously I talk about how much I hate my dogs. And I want to get rid of them. Okay. Do you want 2 dogs? Do you like dogs?
This is going to be cut as well.
No, do you like dogs?
No.
Do you just want them anyway?
No. I live in a rent-controlled property. I'm not allowed pets.
You can have them with the cranberry sauce.
Are you suggesting I eat them now?
Yeah.
Well, here's what I'll say to you.
Wait.
Here's what I'll say to you.
Right.
Cranberry sauce wouldn't go with dog meat.
Right. What would?
Gotcha, Jang.
That's fair.
A spicy Korean paste, sir.
Okay, Dad.
He's coming. Thinks you put cranberry sauce on dog meat.
Novice.
Who's this joker? Is this staying in?
Yeah.
Prawn toast.
Even the bits of you saying, is this staying in, will stay in.
Well, yeah, because you seem at random to sometimes say, this bit isn't in the show. And so I need to know.
It's because I need to remind myself, when it comes to the edit, I need to remind myself.
That's fine, but I feel on uneven territory. I feel like the ground is falling away underneath me. And I never know if it's a good time to tell a joke, because I don't know if it's going to... Should we get back to the interview?
Yeah. Yes, please.
This is falling apart at the seams. This is barely being held together. This is being held together with cranberry sauce.
We're not still on questions, are we?
No, not quiz.
Back to the quiz!
I just had to remind myself. We've spoken too much about cranberry sauce. It's all that's in my head right now.
Okay. Reset.
Okay.
Do you just take a moment?
Okay.
I'm
back. I'm back in the room.
You good?
The voices are back in my head. I'm back.
The voices are back in your head. Well, that was a problem. Being pulled apart.
No, sometimes they remind me of the questions.
Right. Okay.
Are you like?
Yeah. I'm tapped in.
For the people watching at home, I was just looking over to Nicola to see if she had an earpiece.
So
you can't see Nicola; she's not in the shot. She's manning all the cameras.
So
cut that out.
Two of your projects, Bad Education, I'd say more the movie, because I believe it was a different actress that played your mum in the series, but Joanna, I can never pronounce her surname, I do apologise. Scanlon. She's played your mum on 2 accounts.
Yes.
Is that strange in the acting world to, have someone play a similar role twice?
Well, that's a good question.
With the same person?
I mean, I don't know how common it is, but as far as I can tell, at least from like the emails that were flying around at the time, I'm not 100% convinced that the Boat Story production staff knew that she'd played my mum before.
Right.
And so there's a part of them, I'm sure, that were thrilled with this really innovative idea they'd come up with. I don't know that for sure, but it turns I quickly appraised them of the situation and said, like, is this going to be like a thing? But it wasn't a problem. I think my mum is extremely offended by this happening, more than once now, on the basis that it seems that television has decided that Joanna Scanlon looks more like my mum than my mum, which is a curious thing. But I've had many mums over the course of my career, because I'm a baby.
Little baby.
I got a little baby. I got a beard in a minute, but I say that for baby. Well, you can't with the greys now. They're all coming in. You'll get that when you grow your first pube.
You sent me again.
There's a strong format on the show.
Well, I think the format's strong. It's just there's an inability to stick to it.
Yeah.
But I can't. Please take over.
Let Shane jump in.
Yeah, okay, right. Let me save you. So, without too much spoilers, I think we've already referenced it earlier on. Your character in Boat Story has quite a dramatic scene.
Yes.
How was it playing that scene, and how did you get into that kind of headspace to be a little bit more serious, a little bit more?
Well, I hadn't done serious acting in so long. Like the last time I'd done any like serious acting was like back in my amateur days, when I was doing like all different plays and stuff like that. And I was up with Uncle Vanya or like Chekhov and Shakespeare and all the great Moliere. I don't know Moliere. Anyone? All right, moving on. So like it was latent within me. I knew how to do it, but it was doing it again because that was all for stage. And like obviously, especially in like something like Shakespeare, if you're going through a trauma on stage, you can very much woe is me. Whereas obviously with on camera, it has to be a lot tighter and like less dramatic. It helps that Craig Fairbrass, who is very tall, and when he wants to, can put a very mean face on, is pointing a shotgun at you. It's not that hard to act nervous. Because there's a part of you that's thinking to yourself, I wouldn't put it past it. He might shoot me.
And it was a completely prop gun. It's not like a...
Oh no, it was real.
It was... Right.
Because it was a prop gun.
you hear on like film sets and stuff, like they
I mean, I know
with...
you're going to come out with
Yeah,
Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
But,
there was a whole court case about that.
Yeah.
He's going to prison.
But it's not the first time you hear it, and you get these like firearms experts coming in and stuff. But so it's just completely.
It's so rare for there actually to be. Like I still don't fully understand why there was any live ammo on the set of Rust. That's a bit I don't understand. Like
more American
but
production.
perhaps so, but it shouldn't have been there anyway. Like what I mean? If you had it just shouldn't be. But like if you're doing something like this, it's all like prop guns and blanks, and like you still need to be careful with blanks. Children watching at home, because like blanks can still be dangerous. That's how Brandon Lee died. Yeah. Because like but it's still a concussive force. It can still cause damage. But of course, when the shotgun went off in that scene, spoiler alert, it happened off screen. Yeah. So there wasn't even actually. I was long gone by then. I had my feet up in the trailer. No, I didn't. I was having a prosthetic put on. Spoiler alert. Look, we can't dance around the issue. It's been out for like 5 months. I die in it, right? I get shot by Craig Fairbrass. Like, if you haven't seen it, you won't go anywhere, let's be honest.
And the...
Well, see it. You guys seem cross that I've blown up your spot, but like, ultimately...
Oh, he's ruined.
Well, no, because...
Why do we get this guy on? He's ruined our whole stick.
I just saw... There has to be like a
Yeah.
What's the word I'm looking for? Statute of limitations on a spoiler. And I feel like 5 months is enough.
What's the earliest?
If it's television, give it a week.
Okay.
I reckon. For films, maybe a bit longer because they're a little bit more difficult to get hold of potentially. Although with the advent of streaming, maybe not. But no, I don't get why people complain about spoilers all the time. They're like, "Oh, it's so difficult to avoid." It's not. It's really not that hard to avoid spoilers.
Just ignore me. Last episode.
Oh, we spoiled the Marvel movie. Yeah. Sorry.
I mean, the actual film I don't care about. It was more the post-credit scene that I wanted to...
What Marvel movie is this?
The Marvels.
Oh, I haven't seen it. I've only seen one film.
What? How?
What do you mean how?
Wait, what?
Because I watched one film, Matrix Reloaded. Very confusing.
Oh, you mean films just in general?
You believe me?
You said you don't watch stuff much, so...
There's Gullible written on the ceiling. Imagine if there was.
Damn it, got half of it.
No, I don't watch as many films as I potentially should.
So when that episode aired, was you looking out for like people's reactions and stuff, or like?
A bit.
Yeah.
I try not to, and I do so less and less these days because like when you're starting out and you think, oh God, what's people going to think? But that sort of falls away eventually, especially once you realise that you can't please everyone all the time.
Yeah.
And most of the people who don't like the stuff I do are never going to anyway, and they're just going to keep on moaning, and eventually I'll just ignore them to death.
Have you always had that ability to just kind of tune out the noise, or have you?
Yeah, it gets easier. Like, you know, especially with social media, it's such a fucking toilet. But, like, you know, it's really easy to just break off and just not think about it anymore.
Yeah.
And that tends to be my reaction to it now, where it's just sort of like, oh, whatever.
Do you get kind of annoyed from, not necessarily annoyed, if people only call you like your character's name, for instance? So I've seen like on your TikToks, a lot of people will be like, oh, hey Joe. Oh, that's Joe there. Oh, you look like Joe Pol, like just stuff like that. Does that kind of frustrate you sometimes? Or?
Not really, because it's, you know, it's in a way it shows that I've done a good job. Like, you know, yeah, it comes from a good place. Like, there's never any malice there.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it'd be different if they were doing it to be rude.
Yeah.
But they're not. Like, you know, they're just like, from thing. And, like, you know, I don't expect people to actually like remember my name. That's not, you know, who's got the time? Like, you know, there's a million people like who work in TV and film. You can't be expected to remember all of them. And again, that's something that I found when I get older. Like, another bugbear of mine on social media is like when there's like a celebrity reality show or something like that, and like the cast are announced, and there's always some gammon, some, you know, Brexit lover 69, and then like 4 Union Jacks and a bulldog. Who comes and goes, I haven't heard of any of them. I don't know what a celebrity mean anymore. And, you know, lots of people I haven't heard of.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know any soap actors really, because I don't watch soaps. That's not their fault. Yeah. Like, you know, like, you know, you can't be expected to know everyone. And hey, Brexit lover 69, 420, Union Jack Bulldog.
I feel like this is a real person.
Maybe this is a good opportunity to learn who those people are and really get to know them, huh? Because that's why you're watching the fucking program, innit? You're not watching it just because you like watching people eat bugs. It's about the personalities, isn't it? It's about, you know, the journey. They love that word, don't they? My journey. My Strictly journey.
I'm a celebrity.
No, I don't get offered anything. I'm not interesting enough.
But would you?
No. I've made it a hard and fast rule that the only reality shows I will do are ones where I can learn a transferable skill. So, like, Strictly's in, because I could learn how to dance. Dancing on Ice is in, although that is very dangerous, and I would need a very high insurance premium for that. MasterChef's in, because, you know, I can cook all right, but I'd love to learn how to cook better. And Bake Off, great example. So, like, you know, I'd like to be able to walk away from a reality show going, I learnt a skill. And I feel I wouldn't do that in the jungle. I'd just be annoyed.
I could eat bug.
I've eaten bug.
Just one.
I mean, so have you. There you go.
I had
something in common right there.
I had it was a curried grasshopper.
Was it nice?
It was alright actually. It was very. It was the best way to describe it. Sort of like imagine a curry flavored what's it.
Melt in your mouth.
Because it was quite powdery and, like, you know, it sort of just sort of melted away. It was good taste though. Like, you know, it was at a food show somewhere, and it was like, you know, we got to think about like the ideas that eventually the way we farm now is no longer going to be sustainable. So we do need to think about maybe eating bugs. And if they're prepared that way, I'm down.
Yeah, and there's a lot of bugs, so
yeah, we're never going to run out of them.
No.
How did we get onto that? Yeah. No, so yeah, I haven't actually been asked to do any of these. The only one I did get asked to do was Celebrity Pointless, which I did do because I love Pointless, and I did hilariously badly. So that's good.
What about the stuff like? I mean, obviously, you're not going to get a transferable skill from Celebrity Big Brother, but would that interest you in a way? If the lineup was,
no interest at all.
Not even just trial it?
Because all that is I mean, I don't enjoy the programme all that much because it's just some twats in a place. Like, you know, I can get that anywhere. I'm going on the tube later. Like, you know.
Just sitting here.
You should change the name of the podcast to Twats in a Place.
It's got a ring to it.
It's very true.
Yeah, it's just got no interest for me. And, like, you know, I also... Because even though I do a lot of these, like, you know, interviews and podcasts and stuff to, like, talk about, you know, like my acting, and, like, you know, I do try to be as open as possible. I'm also fairly private as a person. Like, you know, there is very much a distinction between Ethan Lawrence acting persona, the one that I'm putting on for you now, and the Ethan that I am at home and like, you know, with my family and with my friends. And so, like, those, and I don't want to bridge that gap, and I feel that the structural integrity of that dam would begin to break if I was to be put under a microscope in that way.
Yeah.
Unlike something like, something like a MasterChef or a Strictly, because like when you're doing, although Strictly also has its problems, but like, I could still be playing the character of Ethan Lawrence, this sort of zippity-doo, hoppity-baba, as opposed to what I am in real life, which is a miserable fucker. Like,
It is
just moping around my house, just like rubbing my head against the wall like a wounded polar bear.
It is interesting that you view yourself as a character, and like you can differentiate, if I can say that properly, between like your acting self and, like you've just said, your kind of normal self with friends and family. It kind of gives an insight into who you are. And
yeah, I mean, they're not that different. Like, I joke, but like, they're not that different. But like, in reality, I'm generally quite a shy person. Like, I don't make a big scene about myself. Like, if I'm out and about, like, it's just nice when people come up and stuff like that. But I don't like signal it.
Yeah.
I'm not walking around being like, hey, look who's walked in.
Hollywood Lauren.
Oh, big shot over here. But like, being known for stuff like that has its perks, and like one of the perks is like, when you reached out to do this, I was like, yeah, sure, that sounds like fun. And like, I've before times I've put out calls like saying, if you got a podcast, let me be a guest on it.
Yeah.
Because that's more. I don't want to use the phrase giving back, because that sounds so cringe.
I think I actually replied to that. I think I said about chat addicts and.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
We've already discovered that trying to dive into what Ethan remembers.
No, just
it's not.
Sorry, fellow chat biscuit here. Sorry.
Yeah, that's it. But so like, it's not giving back, but like I like to think that like what I've earned and what I've achieved, I can use in ways that help other people, and that to me is more interesting than like hitting red carpets or like doing PAs or something like that. I'm not particularly interested in that. I'd like to make something with people, and so like if a podcast does reach out and they're like we're doing this, would you be a guest? I'm like, hell yeah, of course. Like because it helps me and it helps you, and like with the wrestling thing as well. Like I gave up my services for free. Like I went flyering with the promoter, and like it's all about giving back, because like no it's going to sound such a cliche, but like no man is an island, right? It takes a village. Yeah. And like it's nice to have that separation as well, because like in my personal life it means I can just be me, and like no one has to stand on any airs and graces. And it's useful as well having a family that come predominantly from the East End of London, because real tall poppy syndrome going on there. So I've always kept level. I'm done talking.
Oh.
This interview is over.
It's because I coughed and you looked at me. I was like, I didn't mean to cough. I'm sorry.
I just wanted to ask you, like, obviously, I guess your world has been predominantly in television, film, and stuff like that. Has the idea of like internet content? I know you've done Cameo. I guess it's slightly separate, but like things like YouTube, that kind of stuff. That's like, I guess, of our sort of generation, is the main thing that we probably consume is YouTubers, if you want to call them that. Yeah. Is that the sort of question?
Well, it's at this point, it's such an oversaturated market, and like it takes so much to be able to get to a point where you're earning from it.
Yeah.
That it's just not worth it. Like I'd have to work so hard to get myself into a position where I could be earning what I'm earning through acting.
Yeah.
Which is nothing at the moment. But you see what I mean? Like, if I had to, because these people, like, there's such a stigma about those all the influencers and these content creators. They work fucking hard. Like, having to churn out that amount of stuff, like the speed of it is insane. I'm in awe. Honestly, and like I do get ever so cross when like, oh, it's not a real job. And it's like, well, if it's not a real job, you fucking do it then. Like, if you're that smart, why aren't you earning, 50k from your YouTube subs? Like, why don't you have a Patreon? Like, what are you doing? Yeah. It's so easy for people to dismiss what other people do and don't realise the actual real proper graft that goes into it.
To be fair though, I mean, before do you know what ElsaGate is? Have you heard of it?
Absolutely no idea.
So back in, I'd say maybe 4 or 5 years ago, possibly even longer, there was a bunch of like kids videos where people would dress up as Elsa from Frozen.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Or
in like the
Spider-Man.
morph suits. Yeah.
And they do videos like, Elsa got pregnant by Spider-Man, inject her belly to save her now, and stuff like that. But they made, like, honestly, hundreds and thousands of pounds from just doing that, because it was targeted to kids. Kids are obviously just click on everything. They was getting like billions of views on videos, and the content was literally just, I mean, like you've seen
It was
you've
very
seen the videos.
sus.
Yeah, it was very strange, directed at kids. And then a big thing called Elsagate came forward, where basically any kids content, any like kids YouTubers, stuff like that, basically got completely cut off from any sort of creator fund, because ultimately they were targeting kids with get Elsa pregnant with Spider-Man. Like,
So what I'm going to do is add a caveat now, which is saying, when I talk about influencers and content creators working really hard, I wasn't talking about that. I mean, because, you know, again, I talked about the graft, and obviously with graft does come grift. And there's always going to be that. And I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, like, you know, legitimate content, especially like in the wake of the novel coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic. Like so many comedians that I'm sort of contemporaries with, like people like Manya Chihuahua, people like Rosie Holt, like Bella Azafar. Like, you know, they made like huge internet presences because everyone was stuck at home, and they've now like, catapulted their own careers into things. And like, you know, if I was smart enough, I could have been on that bandwagon. But then, by the same token, hate to say it, I had a pretty good pandemic. Like, as soon as people started going back to work in the TV and film industry, I was poised at just that point to be ready to jump back in. And so, like, from late 2020 through to like early 2023, I basically didn't stop. So I didn't even need to worry about that.
yeah.
So again, it sort of comes down to that idea that, like, you know, everyone's journey into this industry is different. Like, people ask me a lot of times for like advice on how to do it, and I'm like, I don't know, because I can't give advice. I can only give anecdote. I know how I did it, which was pure blind luck, and just being in the right place at the right time. And then as soon as I caught the crest of the wave, working damn hard to stay on top of it. That's not everyone's going to get those sorts of breaks, so I can't very well say to someone, well, what you need to do is be lucky.
Live in Malden. Love Malden salt.
Yeah, that's very important. Buy their products.
But yeah, I believe like that is everything we want to ask for you today. We do have a little surprise in a second.
Another one.
This one's going to go well.
A little bit separate to obviously us talking to you, but we'll.
No, when you say separate to us, is this still in the pod now? Are we still pod?
We're still pod.
But yeah, obviously I've been Taylor.
And I've been Shane, and we've been speaking to
Ethan
Lawrence.